What's up, guys? How we doing? So we got Philadelphia, and it is not always sunny. It is a showdown this weekend, and as the Supercross season draws to a close, the pressure ramps up for everybody wanting a title. Nano-Extreme. This pain cream is amazing. If you haven't tried it, I strongly recommend it. Head over to Nano-Extreme, use code COOKSY and get free shipping. This stuff will help you on so many different levels. Try it, thank me later. Nanoextreme.com. Complete Racing Solutions. Coach Rob has programs for vet riders, kids, weekend warriors, business professionals. Coach will help anybody get into shape, in particular kids. Check out his kids programs if you want to get your kid dialed in. Alias MX. You better hurry. The ombre gear is going fast. So head over to Alias MX, get some of that ombre gear or some of the other stuff. Alias is a high quality brand that is making a comeback. AliasMX.com.
You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
So I'm going to start with the East Coast guys today in the 250 class because it is crazy. 6 guys are within striking distance of this championship. So they got this weekend and 3 rounds after that. They got Foxborough, Pittsburgh, and then the Showdown in Salt Lake City. So there's a lot of racing for these 6 guys battling for this East Coast championship. And I'm going to start with Cullen Park. While he is in a position points-wise within striking distance of this championship, I think he's the least likely guy to get it done. Not because he's not good, but he's outperforming what he probably should have been doing, what I expected him to do. And it takes extraordinary finishes like in the mud to get him up on that podium. I think if you're going to close out a championship, you got to be able to win in dry conditions. And as much as I like Cullen Park, I just don't see that happening. And I really want him to do good because he reminds me so much of Sam Axe from that show Burn Notice, the actor Bruce Campbell with the chin. Oh, I think that might be his, I think they might be related. Chance Hymas, right there in this championship. I didn't even consider him until he won last weekend. I knew he was there. I know he's good. He's won outdoors. But coming in with that injured knee and not really showing a ton, I didn't expect him to be 8 points out of the lead with 4 to go. And when you win in weird conditions, you might be able to write that off as nothing, but it still gives you the confidence. When you win, no matter the conditions, very often you can turn that confidence into wins in different conditions. Chance Hymas' competitors do not want somebody as talented as him to have that kind of confidence, to believe he can win, to believe he's in this for the title, because he very well could take it. I don't see it happening, but damn, not a bad season for Chance Hymas. I think Nate Thrasher, being way more points down than Chance Hymas, has a better chance at this championship. I think he's a guy, right now, Nate Thrasher, if he makes any mistakes or has any bad rounds, go ahead and just scratch him off. But if he could win this weekend and gain some points on these guys, if he can get it close, I think he's got a legit shot. I like his chances. If you ask me to bet him or Chance Hymas, who's more likely to win the championship, I would take Nate Thrasher. Then you got the maniac, the lunatic, RJ Hampshire. Man, if you do a list of his highlights and all the crazy things that have happened to this guy throughout his whole career, it would be like a 24-hour movie. This guy has got more highlights than most people have, even races. The way he supermaned across that puddle in front of the whole field, dear Lord. But to have that start and tell me, you know what? He's only going to be 2 points out of the lead after this round. You're like, no way. And this is a guy who has closed out a championship. He won the West Coast last year. He's going to the 450s. Sounds like Husqvarna has offered him a longer deal. I don't know exactly, but it is in the 450 class. If Husqvarna can figure out these financial problems, I think that's a great place for RJ for the next 2 years on a 450. But he really wants to leave the 250 class on another championship. That's a nice feather in his cap to be able to win the East and the West. Oh, Tom Vial, dear Lord. This whole season, he's been doing everything right, managing the series, going about it like a true championship contender, not taking risks, having the red plate, not want to race, but he's right there. And he looked again like he was going to do that. Prior to him getting stuck, he was going to leave with an 18-point lead or more. This championship would have been almost completely his had he not stuck himself and earned 0 points. He went from, I think 18 points from the finish he was in, or close to 16, 18. He went from that to 0 points. I mean, that's about as bad as it could be. And that's kind of bad luck too, because in a mud race, you have to think a couple of guys are going to DNF, but nope. Tom Vial, dead last, 0 points. And it's not like the old days where they give 22nd a point. 22nd gets 0 points. You know, all that talk of him winning this championship without winning a race, that's out the window now. Now that he's tied with the lead with Seth Hammaker and 2 points up on RJ, then you got guys looming like Nate Thrasher, Chance Hymas. He's not going to win this championship if he doesn't win one of these races. I do not see that happening. I mean, still, it's technically possible, but it would take some crazy stuff. If he wants to defend his championship, he's going to have to start winning and start winning now. That consistency route, not going to work now. My pick to close out this East Coast Championship is Seth Hammaker. He has looked so good, and he's tied for the point lead. Technically, he's got the point lead, because if they were to stop it right now, he owns the tiebreaker because he has a race win. But, I mean, technically there's 2 red plates, and they don't go to the tiebreakers until it's all over. But he does have the tiebreaker on Tom Vial right now. He is from Pennsylvania. They're in Philly. It's just lining up perfectly. I think this is Seth Hammaker's year, and I think he's going to get Pro Circuit that elusive championship. Man, it feels like it's been forever. Maybe I'm missing somebody, but when's the last time they won a title? Was it Justin Hill? I'm sure somebody between them's probably had one, but I can't think of it. I think Seth Hammaker is the guy. I think he's going to get it done this year, and I think he's going to give Mitch that elusive championship that he has been chasing for so long, and he's had so many weird injuries and crazy things. I think Seth will do it for Pro Circuit. So this is an East-West Showdown. So we got all the West guys infused. We got the Deegs coming back. We got Julian Beaumer. Last time we saw these two guys, they were grabbing each other's helmets, talking trash, and really giving us a rivalry for the ages. Meanwhile, rookie Cole Davies just smashed him. I mean, he just took off, got his first win. If these two guys get into it and take each other out or do something silly, Cole Davies is good enough. 3 rounds left for the West Coast guys. There's this one, Denver, Salt Lake. Now, if he's going to have to win 2 of the 3 and get some luck, I don't know if that's going to happen, but you never know. Deegan's in that weird spot where he's got a point lead, a pretty big one. He needs to go out there, check his ego, do the right things. He doesn't need to get into a battle with Beaumer. He doesn't need to prove to Davies that he can win. He needs to collect a significant amount of points in the next 3 rounds and leave the series as a champion. Easier said than done. Do you really want to have some kid, some rookie come in and kind of steal the thunder off of your championship? You're the Deegs. And now everyone's talking about Cole Davies. He's so great. He's the next guy. There's ego involved with these dudes. Nobody wants that. While he would still be champion, everybody would be like, yeah, but what about Davies? Will that push Deegan to do something silly? I don't know. I mean, he's young. He's very mature and he's got a great racecraft, but that's something I'll be watching for. Check out Ride Strapped, goggles, glasses, shirts. Just a really cool company. Chris is a great dude, and I'm really appreciative of the partnership that I have with them. Check out ridestrap.com. Show them some love, and great people. Ridestrap.com. Precision Transport, the best shipping company out there. If you're tired of dealing with these janky shipping companies that really don't care about customer service, stop dealing with them. Head over to Pre-Transport, a family-owned company. They take pride in making sure your stuff gets there. They deliver top-notch customer service and reasonable pricing. Pretransport.com. So in the big boy class, Cooper Webb, oh my goodness, what he did in that last lap was the things that we look back on a championships and say, that's where it was won or that's where it was lost. He went from 6th to 3rd on the last lap through Chase Sexton, Justin Barcia, Ken Roxon. That's not supposed to happen. That is not supposed to happen. I mean, he was looking so bad. Ricky Carmichael actually suggested he slow down to get lapped so he didn't have to do an extra lap. That's how his night was going. And to completely change that outcome, by the way, that's horrible advice. Because even if if your bike quits, it doesn't matter. So once you get to that line, you're safe. It's all bonus. It's house money from there. But if you get lapped, you can't do that lap. You can't. If somebody goes down or they stall out, you lose to them. Horrible advice. But Webb has a commanding 15-point lead. Now, this is one of the best closers in the sport. Nobody puts their foot on the neck of their opponents and steps more than Cooper Webb. He understands how to finish. Chase Sexton has to come out and win this weekend. He has to at least make up points on Cooper Webb. If he lets this thing get to 20 or 25 points, I mean, shoot, this thing could be over in Denver if he's not careful. But it is Supercross. Anything can happen. All we have to do is look back to 2023. It looked like it was Tomac and Webb battling for this championship, and they had dropped Sexton. Well, Webb gets hurt, Eli blows his Achilles, and all of a sudden, Chase Sexton's your champion. That's about the only way Ken Roczen's going to win this championship, is if something crazy happens to both those guys. I don't see that happening, but it's happened before. I mean, it happened 2 years ago. So good on Ken Roczen for staying up there and battling and putting himself in a position to be on the podium, points-wise, and to be in a position if someone makes a mistake to just ride through and win this championship. I doubt it's going to happen, but good on Ken Roczen for that. Can Aaron Plessinger back up his win? He's only won in the mud. The good thing about this weekend, it's going to be muddy. It is not going to be muddy like last weekend. It's going to be similar conditions to like what we saw in San Diego when AP got his first win. Can that confidence be compounded? Can he do 2 in a row? He wins 2 in a row, and then when they get to a dry race, that crazy confidence of winning 2 in a row, we could see a whole new AP. He's got his new contract. He's staying with KTM. All good in the cowboy camp. So my buddy AJ is coming on next week. He's awesome. He's a big crypto trader. AJ writes crypto, but he's giving away a Tesla, a car this month. Check him out. I told him I'd plug this for him. He is coming on the show next week. You wait till you hear his analysis. AJ is one of the funniest, coolest dudes ever, and I thoroughly enjoy having him on the show. And I'm going to bring him on next week, and we're going to do some analysis and break down whatever happens in Philadelphia. So head over there, get your Tesla, and don't forget, members, you're all registered to win the Coach Rob year-long membership. And if you're already a member, Coach will send you a check. That's how cool he is. Thank you, members. Appreciate everything, and here is your